Quick message before we start. Tarot and oracle cards are amazing tools for self-awareness and guidance. In the right hands, it can truly help you understand the story of your life. However, this should only be support in developing your own intuition and discernment. I ask that this tarot session be guided by the divine for your best path and purpose. And if you would like to support the work I do on this channel, you may donate at the link in the description box. It will be there once, once the stream is complete, as well as your time codes. So also, thumbs up on the video, commenting, and subscribing are also appreciated shows of support. All right, so tonight is messages from the universe, and I have pile A here. Is this card? It has a mouse on it, and it's got number 23 and listen. And for pile B, I have 33, follow through, and I think this is a praying mantis. So here are your cards to pick. I'll give you a minute. Well, not really a minute, but a few seconds here. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna move straight into messages for pile A. So if you chose this listen card, that's what we're gonna do. We're using the Unveiled Tarot tonight. This is this one. I really like it because it's got like two different stories going. You know, it's got an alternative, like a subtext to a scene, and that really gives some key insights. All right, so I got started a little bit late tonight, but let's get going. All right, so if you chose this pile, let's see what is happening here. I have the message for it, but let's see why do you need this message? What's the background to this? All right, we have the King of Cups. We have the King of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. So two kings and Two of Pentacles. This could be, and then we have Six of Pentacles. All right. So this could either be you. I'm getting two things. This is either you going back and forth with yourself. There are feelings, right? There's some kind of big feelings that you have for something, and I'll clarify soon, but also you're wanting to kind of balance that with like serious logic, and you're going back and forth. It's like a decision that you're making. Should I choose like what I feel emotionally drawn to, or what I want to do, like what my heart wants to do, basically? Or should I make a decision that's based on like what's good, what's logical, what is the most sensible path here, and totally detach from what I feel? And I'm seeing that this is like a real juggling act. So that's one story that's coming through. But another thing that's coming through is two people. I really feel this is like the smaller story. The first one I told you is the bigger story. I think more people will relate to that. But I see two people here. One that is quite in touch with their feelings, and one that wants to approach something from their headspace, right? What makes sense? So, and there's a kind of like these two people have struggled to find balance, but they're right here together, which makes me think that these two people, especially the Six of Pentacles, have to be in exchange with each other. these are two people that rely on each other, so you need support from each other in some way. Right, okay, so that is the kind of essence of what I'm having. But let's clarify. I really feel like it's that first situation that you could be, this is one person that's going back and forth on a particular situation. All right, so tell me more about this Two of Pentacles. What is being kind of trying to weight up or balanced here? Six of Cups, Knight of Cups. Yeah. Um, it turns out that if this is pile A, this is specifically for you. These messages are not necessarily for like about your person, like the you and your person reading. So this is going to be quite direct for you. If you chose this pile, now you are going back and forth on a particular situation or someone that I'm just looking at this. There's somebody here that you feel is some kind of, it's like you have a hunch or you have a knowing that this is a strong connection. Often in life, it's really difficult to find people that we kind of like gel with or we mix well with or just feel at home with. There are lots of people in the world, but it's very few that you'll just be like, yeah, this is my person. Um, this is one of my people. And it feels like you might be interested actually in this person, right? You might be thinking, taking action. But look at this again: Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords, King of Cups, King of Swords. You're really going back and forth. Like, I feel like I might like this person. I want to advance some kind of more emotional connection. But then the logic sets in. So you could be really someone that you struggle to balance between the logical side and the emotional side. That struggle is actually good, actually, because it means that when you make a decision, you can have both things in consideration, right? Kind of like, right, pretty much like this. You're weighing both things up about this situation for yourself, as it should be. So if you find yourself saying, like, which thing should I do? Should I follow my heart or should I follow my mind? You don't actually have to make a choice between those two things. You can have both of those things inform the decision that you make, right? So, for example, you your heart is like, you know what? I just want to like take my credit card and just jump on a flight to wherever because that's what I feel to do. I want to go there. But your mind might be saying, what are you doing? You can't afford this. Like, we are on a plan to save for retirement. You can't travel. And it's not that you have to choose either or, like black or white, right? You can find some kind of gray area. So, okay, maybe you can't go right now, but you could take maybe a domestic trip, like a local trip now, and then put aside some money for, your trip that you want to do in a year or something like that, right? So there are options always. This is like an elaborate explanation to tell you that there are always options. You don't have to think, oh, should I follow my heart? Should I follow my what my head thinks is right? There's always like a way between. And as long as you are like, you come to that kind of balance in yourself, and especially if you're dealing with somebody, this going back and forth energy can sometimes it can reveal itself as like hot and cold behavior. And I know it's not intentional, but I think it's like an awareness. So your heart seems to want to go towards this person, right? You see this image. This is like the person, right? This might be the person that makes you feel like, yeah, I feel like my inner child is happy. Because look at this. This is an adult, and through being with this person who is like already tapped into their inner child somehow, this like grown person is like remembering what it's like to be a kid, right? So you bring out, in a sense, you bring out this kind of joy in me, is kind of how I feel you could be thinking about this. Now, you can let me know if that's true or not. But you are also going back and forth here about, I want to express how I feel. Maybe I should rush in. And it's like two things. Um, yeah, this is saying like we need to put an end to this kind of back or forth. Um, okay, I'm going to tell you now what your card says. The listen card, which you chose, pile A, has this mouse energy. I'm not sure what the flower is, but the mouse is something that often can be thought of as like quite anxious, is very interested in the small details. And so you could be like a warrior. You could identify as somebody that worries quite a lot, or you want to comb through the small details like, what about this? What about that? Everything needs to be just so. And in other card systems, the mouse sometimes talks about degrading of a situation. That can come when we worry a lot about a circumstance and we don't allow, you just get lost in the worry, right? The anxiety of something, the overthinking of it. And this card comes with a message of, it's time to listen to the small voice inside of you, which that makes me think of this image right here, right? Do you see how this person is like, they're all cladded out in like all this like regalia and everything, but inside there's that small heart. And it's like, this is what you need to listen to. The small voice is, what does your intuition really want you to do? The concept of this card is that innately we all have that kind of, compass or guiding light within us that's telling you what you want to do. And sometimes we talk ourselves out of it. Now, I fully understand that, right? For years I used to think that like, no, I'll tell myself what I need to do and that's what I'm doing. But you often neglect listening to what your mind, your body is saying and your heart is saying. And the heart sometimes is saying, yeah, we should actually, I know you're upset or whatever, or you want to go away from this place, but you should probably give this a chance. And you don't listen. But anyway, let's bring this around. So there's something here about this situation with this person that you might not be listening to, and this is the call. You will know if this like resonates for you. Is there something that you want to take action on that you might need to listen to? Now, give me, I'm going to ask in cards to be more explicit. What could this person be needing to listen to? What could pile A be needing to listen to? Just give me like a few things, please. Nine of Cups. All right. What and who makes you happy? What exactly makes you happy, right? What would satisfy you right now? And look at that, the Ten of Cups. That is so much like, what would satisfy me and who would satisfy me? What future do you envision when you think in your internal space? That is your true kind of intuitive voice. That's like what your soul wants you to move towards. And sometimes our fear will pop up and say, yeah, but no, we shouldn't, because what will happen? I need to wait this amount of time and I need to do this and I need to do that. And by the time you finish, you really don't know what you wanted to do anymore. All right. Another thing, Queen of Cups. All right. There's so much Cups energy. It's really telling me that you actually really need to listen to the emotions in your heart. The Queen of Cups, because it's for you, you might, and this is pure intuition, right? This is pure sensitivity, and this is purely somebody that has love for someone or something, um, and wants to express it. No, it's telling me that your Queen of Cups wants to come out. Um, there's a King of Cups here, and this is a Queen of Cups. That's like a match, right? So if you identify as either the king or queen, doesn't really matter your sex or gender. Um, you might be needing to listen to the person that is, how to say, no, that's not what I mean to say. You might need to think about the person that feels close to your internal emotional self might be the person that you might want to consider. I don't know why I'm saying that, because there wasn't a sense of like a choice. Well, there is the Two of Pentacles. This is juggling. This could be a choice between two. All right, so there's something there about that. Who makes you happy? Who brings out the emotional self and allows you to be emotional with them? Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is like when you get that itch, like, I really want to go over there. I want to talk to that person. I just want to explore that. It's kind of like that energy. I just feel like I want to explore this. And you throw all caution to the wind sometimes, and you're just like, I'm just going to do it. It's kind of like that. You might need to be a little bit more impulsive in relation to what your true self is telling you, what your intuitive self is telling you, what your emotions are telling you. Now, the reason that is coming up for you is that ordinarily, um, just listening to your emotions is not what I would advise. You need to kind of balance that. But it seems like you're somebody that's quite restricted in certain ways, like suppressing the emotions for a long time, not allowing it to come out. And that's what your card is telling you, pal A. You actually need to listen to that voice. Queen of Cups to King of Cups, that's significant. It's a couple, right? I'm not going to kind of explore more with that. You will know what this is and who this is for you. But it's like we need to close a cycle as well, is what this is telling me. And that cycle could actually lead you to the success that you want, but there's a kind of investment that's needed. Okay, that wanted to fall out. Let's see what that is. Okay, Queen of Swords. That's truth. Yeah, it's like this feels like a real call to be your authentic self in your actual life. In your emotional life, it's like your emotional life needs to meet your real life, is what I feel. So, let's get one advice card, like a step you could take to do this. The Empress. Okay. Six of Swords. This to me is like two things. You need to head directly to okay, I'm just here. I'm telling you not to be impulsive, but it's just like we need to move in that direction, right? Of the person that you value, you want to be around. Um, that's like a true north to me. It's like you will just know, right? The other thing here is that the Empress is feeling like your full self worth, and so you actually need to elevate to that point where you can really value yourself. You can feel like worthy and believe that you are worthy of things. You see, this is somebody that's putting down roots one by one. The roots go down and it grows into this Empress. So remember, we saw the Seven of Pentacles with that plant pot. It's like one thing at a time. Don't worry about everything. And I'm saying that because you have this Warriors card here. So that's what I have for you, pile A. Let me know if that was your reading. And of course, if you liked it, give a thumbs up and subscribe for more. All right, so we're going to move to pile B. Let's clear this up. All right, so that is 2012. Oops. All right, pile B, you have this follow through card, the praying mantis. All right, so let's look at that. All right, so follow through. Now, follow through is something that talks about the fact that you may have laid the foundation, pile B, for something in your life, right? You may have started, like you may have had a vision, a dream, even started like laying out some plans for something to create something, something that either you feel is major or you feel is like different or novel for you in your life. 33 is the number of like creation, right? Harmony. So really tells me that you're a group that you could have all these like projects or ideas or things you want to start, but it's kind of like you hold yourself back in certain ways, like you don't fully explore them. Maybe it's a self-worth thing, maybe it's you don't have enough time, maybe you have too much on your plate. I don't know, but we're gonna look at that right now and see what is the base of this art. So what is the background to Pal B's follow through message? Three of Wands, Ten of Wands, the Hermit. Okay. You could have, it definitely tells me you've been waiting to do something for a long time. There's something that has just been like, look at that. This person is making all the plans, figured everything out, but they are just not they're not going on the travel themselves. They're waiting. So you might not be aware of it, but there's whatever this plan is, that whatever it is that you want your life to be, I kind of think it's bigger than just like a project. It's like a plan for your life, a path forward in some way that you've thought about it several times, but it's now is the time for you to like get off this cliff, get in the ship, and you kind of like go for it, right? Because I see that it has been difficult for you to kind of like wait on this, whatever it is. The Hermit is here as well, so you could also have been quite like you've been in a long consideration about this situation, like you've been thinking about this thing a lot for a long time. The Devil is here, Ace of Pentacles. All right, you could be a group that your current situation is one that is there's tensions, right? It's tense energy. You could feel like you're bound to a particular way of being. This to me is like family of origin, and we feel stuck in certain ways, and that is like that devil energy, right? The thing that makes us feel like we can't move from the situation. um there's a new opportunity, right? There's an opportunity that exists where you didn't know it existed before. Now, let's look a little bit more at this. I think I was saying here, I think there's something I wanted to say, that you might not even realize that you have been waiting on this situation for a long time. You know what I mean? Like you can get lost in like your thoughts sometimes. You can get lost in like the planning of something so much that you think it feels like action, but it's not really action, right? Kind of like sometimes like if I think I remember trying like my first business. It was like a design business, and there was so much planning and so much like rules, and it just never kind of got off the ground. It's kind of like that. And so that's kind of what you're needing to kind of push through to release the burdens and release kind of this sense that you have to be alone. You might be called to work with people now. All right. I want to know what this 10 of wands is. Oh, okay. The lovers. So I refrain from saying person because this is the messages from the universe. Um, but I kind of think that it's revealing itself to be a kind of energy of maybe a connection that was half finished, right? It's like to make the choice now for that. No, the lovers is not always a person, right? But I was feeling that and I didn't say it. And then this card came out to confirm it. It's look at that. It's two people. These two people are here acting as though, oh, we're together. We just happen to be together somewhere. Maybe we're friends, or maybe we're just acquaintances. Maybe we don't even know each other. Maybe you're just a familiar face, but this is the potential, right? The actual like lover energy, the real serious energy. And it kind of feels like this unfinished issue that you have, you will know. Um, this really is taking up a kind of veer off. But I feel like it's important because I feel like this is somebody's situation. It's important to explore that. Yeah? What's this 301 that you were waiting on? Ace of Cups. Okay, so you could have been somebody for truth, for real, that you were waiting on. An opportunity in your life, right? You were waiting for somebody, maybe in particular, somebody that you feel you would like to pursue something with. You were waiting for that. And here's that Ace of Cups. All this planning. So, okay, that makes me think also that you could have been waiting to approach somebody as well with that Ace of Cups. Maybe you were hoping that this person would approach you. And it really is becoming kind of difficult, right? Because this is the potential of what you want, right? The lovers. And that can be a beautiful connection with like your desired person. But here we are in this hermit energy. So I want to know why we're in hermit energy, why we're alone, why we're keeping ourselves to ourselves. Eight of Swords. There's a kind of restriction that we're putting ourselves under. You might feel too vulnerable to approach this connection. Could be a possibility here. You could just feel like almost you could scrutinize yourself too much in a way, like you're putting yourself under some kind of restraint, and that's what's causing you to stay away from this person, right? This amazing connection. The star is here. This star energy came out in the last reading we did. You could be one of the groups in the last pick a card. Could have been, you could be this person. The star came out for, I think it's maybe pile B. Um, but anyway, you have been in this place of thinking about this situation that you desire greatly. Look at that. You just like, so this is your potential to have this strong connection, right? But we're waiting. We don't dare explore it. And you're thinking about this. I would really like to to be in that space. What if I could just have that person in my life, that type of relationship, whatever it is, at some point in my life, and but we stay like isolated, right? We stay overthinking about it, and sometimes that's the danger in this hermit energy. And I can tell you, as a this is my card in the tarot. It's Virgo energy, and Virgos can be really susceptible to staying in their head, but you want to explore what it is that you've learned by being in this isolation. What's the potential here? If you follow through, what is the potential here? The Hanged Man, Four of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, the Moon. I kind of feel like the universe is saying that there's the Moon with the Ace of Swords. All right, this is like a very kind of deliberate message for somebody, and it might be a little bit strong, but you have been in this place for a long time, right? You've put yourself in a position that could be becoming stagnant because we're waiting to receive what we would like in this world. But rather than kind of going out there, taking action on it, we are staying overthinking about it. And it comes back to, it doesn't have to be a person, right? But a lot of the cards here have really indicated that there is a connection that needs a kind of closing. It needs kind of a follow through. It needs a wrap up, because this is the potential. So your card, the follow through, is talking about a situation where you feel like you've put plans in place, you've thought about things, you've imagined it in your head, and then you kind of talk yourself out of it. Or for some reason, sometimes like can avoidance not avoidant avoidance can make us ignore the thing that we want for years. And I mean, I've experienced that myself, right? You want to do something and you keep putting it off. So the follow through is calling you to put the thing that you most desire, this star energy. You will know because it stays on your mind, right? This Nine of Swords, it stays on your mind. You worry about it, you think about it in every which way. And that thing, the potential is that the moon, the energy of the unknown is cleared up, because at least you would know if you pursue something, right? It's like an action that will help you with the certainty of, okay, this person was indeed my person, or maybe this person was a learning lesson, which relationships are, right? And or this person was maybe halfway to what I want, and now I know I can try again. So it's calling you in out of your state of fear, of exploring, to allow you to access growth in your life, right? That's the follow through. Because sometimes one of the things I've learned is that you might think that this is about like finding your soulmate, right? When finding your soulmate might actually take you to your purpose in life, right? So you might find out through going through a relationship that, oh, I'm really meant to be this thing and not this other thing, career that I have. So it's a way to think of it, right? So let's get a last card of advice for you. Two of Swords, yes. The Two of Swords comes out beside the Two of Cups, right? It's an undecided relationship. It's really what your message is about, Pal B. Should I or should I not? to be or not to be in a kind of way, right? It's, do I explore this thing? Do I come out of this blockage and really explore partnership with this person, or actually coming together, or maybe it's even dating for some of you that are not thinking of somebody, but the Four of Wands is here. Should I explore the potential of this? Should I choose to, it's a kind of philosophical thing, like, should I choose to be optimistic in life and love, or should I stay in this state of, let me be safe, let me play it small, or let me just be comfortable because at least I know what's there? Which one do you feel like would be best for you, for your ultimate growth? You can choose whichever you like, but that is the question for you. Um, I know this was like a very kind of maybe pushy, strong reading, but I really hope that you can get the point of what I'm saying. It's meant for your growth. So this is what I have for you, Pile B. This was your message. Follow through. And if you found resonance in this, please do give a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to see more. And I would love to have you back on another reading. So take care. Wishing you all the best.